Hey everybody, I'm Scott. This is a hot rod, and you are watching Scott Rod's Garage. So today's a bittersweet day for us here at Scott Rod's because our newly acquired 53 F100 Jade has a very tired motor. As you know, we've done a lot to her. We put a cam in it. We converted it to a 4-barrel. We put headers on it, dual exhaust. We did a bunch of stuff to it. And unfortunately, when we took it to Milltown on the way back, without our knowing, it ran hot. And it ran hot enough to do some damage to the motor. I tried and tried to save it without having to pull the motor out, but it's just not working out. So I'm trying to decode the motor to see what year it is. From the numbers, it looks like it's a 1980 engine. What I have decided to do, I came to the conclusion that I am going to rob this brand spanking new rebuilt 68 302 from originally from a Torino. This was going in Freddie the Falcon. So I am going to rob this and install this in Jade. And we're going to do all of that right here, right now. I have purchased another engine, a 351 modified, used, that I'm thinking of putting in Freddie the Falcon. However, nice gentleman came by yesterday and he is looking for a Falcon just like that, and he wants a 6-cylinder. So I'm going to hold off a little bit on that. We're going to continue on with the body work. We're about 75% done with all the body work on that now. Then we'll move back to the floorboards, finish up the floorboards, and get paint on that car. In the meantime, I'll let the gentleman decide if he's gonna pull the trigger and buy it or not. So I've got time to worry about that. In the meantime, I'll have a spare motor kicking around. If it doesn't go in that, it'll go in something else, possibly a 65 Fairlane 500. We'll see. In any case, I bought a bunch of stuff. One of the reasons this thing overheated was because the temperature gauge was not reading properly. It never showed that it was overheating, so really upset about that. So in the meantime, I bought an inexpensive set of gauges, oil pressure, amp meter, and coolant temperature. So we're going to mount those in the middle under the dash while we're putting the engine in and making sure that they read accurately. And that'll hopefully keep us safe until I decide to buy a really nice aftermarket instrument cluster, something really fancy. So I got a new oil pump, new pickup screen, all the gaskets I need to finish this motor. I'm going to take the brand new 4-barrel intake and carb off of Jade and install it on this. I do have a 4-barrel intake for this, but I'm going to reuse that because it's all brand spanking new. Anyways, let's get started. Okay, so we got everything up top disconnected. Radiators out, belts are off, pulleys are off, alternators off, no power steering, so that was easy. It's like 3 wires in the whole upper half of the vehicle. The upper bell housing bolts are off. The gas pedal linkage is off. Pretty much everything there is up top. Now we go down below and we are going to disconnect everything underneath. Torque converter bolts, pull starter out, disconnect the exhaust and the bottom bell housing bolts and the motor mounts, and then we'll be ready to pull it out. Okay, so everything underneath is now unbolted. This motor's ready to come out. Exhaust is down, starter's out, fuel pump feed line is off. Not a heck of a lot, a brown wire. I did take the oil pan off because I need the bolts that hold the oil pump on this one for that, because I do not have them. So I'm just going to steal them off of here. And I know what you're thinking. When I started this video, I had sleeves. I worked so hard that I blew my sleeves off. So now we're going to pull this, we're going to set it next to that one, and then we're going to swap over everything we need to. Intake, the headers, carburetor, and I think that's about it. off of that motor. That does have a new cam and a double roller timing chain. This one already has all that brand new, so that we're going to save for the engine that we're picking up this afternoon. 351 modified. Will it go into the Falcon, Freddy the Falcon? I'm not sure. If it doesn't go into Freddy the Falcon, where's it going to go? I don't know. But it's going to go somewhere. There you have it. Jade went on the heart transplant list just Saturday. And a few short days later, she's getting her heart transplant. So the motor's out. Now we're going to set it down on that, strip it all down the rest of the way, and transfer all the parts over to our fresh 302. Here's our new oil pump. Here's our new oil pump drive shaft. We're going to pack this with Vaseline, and then we're going to drive it with this to prime the oil pump. We are going to prime this bad Larry with some Vaseline. Whoops, wrong way. Suck it right in. Suck it right in. Pull the door. Make sure it's thoroughly primed. We don't want a dry start. Sucking it right in. Sucking it right in. Got good oil pressure. Sucking my finger right in. Good. All right. Clean all this up so I can screw the gaskets on. Put a little bit in here, thinking that it would suck it up, but did not, which is okay. I'll get down where it needed to get. Did it get? And I took this old Ford small block valve cover and cut it open so I could make my valve lash adjustments on it. Great way to do it without getting oil all over everything. Figured I'd show you that. All right, and we are ready to install the fuel pump, the oil pump, and the drive shaft. We'll get this in the pickup screen, of course. That way we can get the oil pan on, flip it around, start mounting the headers on, the fuel pump, intake manifold, valve covers, carburetor, any other accessories we need to get on there. Here we are, Friday afternoon, 3:45. And we are ready to drop the new engine in. It's all together.
Mira, ven, pasa.
Por ahorita entró.
No, ahorita tocó ahí.
Dale para arriba.
Más.
Un poquito más. Dale. 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 Ahí.
Yeah, now we're gonna drop that. I mean, lift that. It's probably as high as it'll go.
Ya get up the... Yep.
That's good, I think. Yep, start dropping it now.
Está muy para allá.
Y quieren que le dé para atrás.
Está muy para allá. Chico, échalo para acá.
Oh, that's a little quick. Yep. Might have to pull it. You might have to pull it back a little bit.
Forward?
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Try dropping it down a little bit slowly. We're in the ballpark. Whoop.
No, Kiko.
So the tranny is really cockeyed.
Yep, the training is all crooked.
Bájalo un poquito.
Maybe we should.
Cuando yo la subí.
Yeah, but I need to hold it up so I can move it, because if I bring it up, leave it there. Let me see if I can.
So we ran into a little trouble in our haste to get this thing in and get it running by 5 o'clock. We all failed, me in particular, to notice that this motor originally came out of a car that was a standard, and it had this pilot shaft bearing in there. Well, guess what happens when you try to push the end of a torque converter in the hole that this is sitting in? You break the bell housing. Isn't that just grand? So now I have to sand this out. How it goes, but now I have to send this out and have it TIG welded back together again. Long story short, Friday evening, and we did not accomplish what we set out to do. All because of one little mistake. So let this be a lesson to you guys out there. Pay attention to what you're doing. Look at everything. Think of everything. Because you know what they say about Murphy's Law. If it can happen, it will. We'll get back at you next week once we get the transmission back from the welder. And then we'll finish putting this thing together. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. And just a little shout out to all you new subscribers over the last couple of weeks. Welcome aboard. Thanks for subscribing. Please stay with us and tell all your friends about us. And we'll come back with more and more interesting videos. Keep watching. Share, like, subscribe, comment. See you soon.